I'm Clutch, and this is the WCS America Weekly Recap. Season 1, Week 2 began with Buell versus the STC. Game 1, Polar Night. STC opens with Reapers, but the Zerg aggression from Buell halts a natural the Terran player. Great Mutamicro from Buell leads to a win. Game 2 on Frost, Swarmhost versus Mech on Creep. Swarmhost wins both times. Buell takes the series 2-0. Hyun versus Revival Game 1 after some long-range queens and similar builds from the Zerg players. It became the Roach Wars, Episode 1, the Phantom Flank. Hyun is able to hold. Roach Wars, Episode 2, the Hyun Strikes Back. Revival holds this time. Episode 3, the Return of the Revival. He pushes Hyun back across the map, and after more Roach War sequels, takes Game 1. Game 2, Heavy Rain. Hyun goes for the early Zergling rush. Revival holds on until crushed by the Hyun onslaught. Game 3, Polar Night. If it works once, it'll work twice. Hyun goes for the Zergling rush and takes out Revival. Hyun wins the series 2-1. Hyun versus Buell in the winners match. Game 1, Yansu. After a push from his opponent, Hyun with the +1 Roaches proves too strong for Buell. And in Game 2, Buell with his upgraded Roaches holds against the Zergling surround. Tying it up in Game 3 on Heavy Rain, Hyun draws out Buell's Mutas and with a crippling Zergling run-by, takes the win. Hyun moves on to the round of 16. In the losers match, Revival defeated the STC 2-0 and moved on to face Buell. In Game 1 on Polar Night, Buell goes for the all-in with Zerglings and drones. Buell stacks his drones and retaliates with his own Zerglings for the win. Game 2, Frost. Buell holds against Revival with the Roach-on-Roach engagement. High ground and Fester from Buell is ineffective against the Revival Roach Hydra. Game 3, Yansu. Buell shows up to the Zerg party a bit early with a bunch of Zerglings at Revival's front door. Revival is able to hold and returns the party favor. Revival loses his third base as Buell's Mutas chase after Revival's Roaches. Revival builds Queen's Hydras and Spore Crawlers to stop the air harassment. Buell continues with the mass Muta harassment, yet despite the complete shutdown of production, Revival is able to dwindle the Muta count with Investor Hydras and 8 Spore Crawlers.
The Muta count is so incredibly high, 27 Mutas.
Revival lives up to his name and takes the series 2-1. Day 2 began with Arthur versus Haas on Frost. Haas contains Arthur in the early game, but Arthur takes Game 1 after pushing back Haas to the front of his natural. Game 2, Polar Night. Stalker, base, race. Arthur crosses the finish line first, winning the series 2-0. The most anticipated fight of the night was Jaedong versus Bomber. Game 1, Frost. Bomber showcases his strong Terran versus Zerg with continual reinforcements, forcing Jaedong to tap. Game 2, Heavy Rain. Bomber asks Jaedong, "Are you ready for bombing?" With effective drop harass and avoiding the Banelings, Bomber takes the series 2-0. In the winners match, Bomber faced Arthur on Frost in Game 1. Bomber continually asks Arthur to get off his lawn. After taking over half of his opponent's Stalker army, Bomber continues the push and takes Game 1. Game 2, Yansu. Bomber proxy racks for the Reaper harass. Despite multiple bunkers, Arthur is able to win a 15-minute, one-base Stalker all-in against Bomber. Game 3, Habitation Station. Arthur goes for the gold expansion early on and with his relatively large Protoss force, pushes up Bomber's ramp. Despite the bunkers and repairs, Arthur overmatches Bomber, taking the series 2-1. In the losers match, Jaedong falls to Haas in Game 3 to a Pylon wall-off. A Pylon wall-off. Haas then faced Bomber on Heavy Rain. Base race between the Terran and Protoss ensues. Bomber had enough bio units at home to defend, and he takes Game 1. Game 2, Haas goes for the proxy cannon, but it is foiled by Bomber. Haas goes for the attack. Bomber holds and deploys his signature finishing move. Bomber takes a series 2-0. Hyun, Revival, Arthur, and Bomber continue on to the round of 16. Who advances next in WCS America? Follow @StarCraft, @NASL TV, and visit StarCraft2.com.